Would the return of Climate Camp to the capital see a repeat of that violence? It's the 26th of August this year. Thousands of climate campaigners are set to swoop on London for another week of protests. In response to widespread criticism of the police tactics at G20, the Met have decided on a radically different strategy to try and avoid conflict. But that requires the protesters to cooperate.
If they don't trust us, if they think that we really are just a bunch of, roughnecks that are going to look to beat them up at every opportunity, then they'll be on edge. Whether we think it's right or wrong in some respects isn't the issue. Galling though that is, certainly for me, and there were times when I was spitting feathers. But actually what you need to do is sit back and reflect on it and say, OK, what do we need to do to win that, to keep that consent and build on it?
Local communities have been disrupted.
But the police are facing an uphill struggle. 1 week before the event, protesters posted this provocative video on YouTube addressed to the Met.
Judging from past experience, the best thing the police could do to ensure the health and safety of the public at Climate Camp 2009 would be to stay as far away from it as possible. Every aspect of the camp has been organised in an open and democratic way via monthly public meetings. The only secret is the location.
So CCTV van we've got, mobile police station is waiting.
It's the day Climate Camp protests are due to start, and it's Superintendent Julia Pendry's job to oversee the police response and win back public confidence.
With the knowledge of the borough as the best place for us to have our mobile police station.
Protesters have gathered at sites across London to await details of the exact location of the camp. The announcement was due at noon by mass text, but police and protesters are being kept waiting.
Or the C word.
Cheers now, Lisa.
Well, I'd like an update now of the convergence sites, absolutely now, what the numbers are. Can we also have what the mood is of the convergence sites? Because I think at the moment what's happening is boredom is starting to settle in, and I think a little bit of civil disobedience is starting to brew.
All the police know right now is to expect over 1,000 people to set up camp somewhere in London.
No, I'm just dealing with Climate Camp at the moment, just about to converge. They're only inside though.
They're using a helicopter and CCTV to try and second-guess where it might be.
Do we know where that is?
Then protesters get on the move. There's speculation that land near the 2012 Olympic site is where they're heading.
Right, we're looking at use of the helicopter to be able to monitor the marshes. I think that we may be trying to be lured into a cat and mouse situation of chasing people around. That isn't going to be something we're going to be tactically drawn into.
The helicopter spots activity on Blackheath Common in south-east London.
Blackheath. Confirmed that Blackheath in Greenwich. Where's that come from, Nat? Cheers, Nat.
Yes, that's the Blackheath Common.
As the protesters arrive to set up camp, the mood is one of scepticism.
We'll see whether the Met have been embarrassed enough to leave us alone this time. But I wouldn't put money on it.
Right, can you phone Papa Lima 1, please, and explain to them that we've got a sound policing operation on my behalf. Can I ask that no locals go down there? Let's get the people onto the site, rather than thinking we're going to
I know exactly what you want, yeah. Do it straight.
Ian Tomlinson's death was going to happen at some point because that's the way the police behave. I've had the police use violence against me for being a peaceful protester on many, many occasions.
I can't help but think, because of what happened at the G20 and also possibly Climate Camp, that the police have actually decided to, to hold back.
They're not actually impacting too much on local communities, because it doesn't seem to be
what she's asking
a huge community that's going to be impacted on
these. If you could just bear with us for the time being.
Which is a good thing.
The Met have swapped their riot gear for a low-key, safer neighbourhood style of policing. It's a marked shift in strategy in response to the calls to adapt to peaceful protest.
Public order situations now are starting to develop and starting to form and coalesce around environmental issues and issues relating to such things as global warming. It's a new model. It's policing for a new century. And you need to have thinking senior officers who are going to set the standard for that.
August Climate Camp was an opportunity for the police to set that standard. And once the protesters had set up camp, Superintendent Pendry paid a visit to ensure the police's new approach was not misunderstood.
I've just been asked if you could wait here and somebody will meet you. You can just come back.
No, I should wait here. I'll be waiting here.
Are you happy to wait here?
No, I should wait here, thank you, but I will be waiting here because this is not a no-go area. This must make it quite clear. This is public land and the police are entitled to come in here, okay? You have to be reasonable. Thank you. What's happening?
We're just waiting here.
I'm fine, yeah. What's happening here? I'm coming to see Francis right, and I am going to come and see Francis. We have a meeting. And Liz Lee. Okay, well, I'm
Do you want to wait here?
No, Francis, please, can you make sure... Liz, we have a slight misunderstanding here in the fact that I will be coming into the site to see you. I'm representing the local authority at the moment as well, so I think it's quite important to speak to me. And also the fire brigade until they come here as well. Okay. But I must make it quite clear to you that there's absolutely no misunderstanding that if any of you think on here that if I don't want to come in here and meet with you and speak, that I can't do that, then that is going to be something that I think we need to clear up now, because I will be doing that. But if you take us somewhere privately over here, then we can get our meeting. We're needing a cup of tea. Do you know what? I would love a cup of tea. Thank you very much. That'd be great. Thank you.
Despite the sparse police presence, Superintendent Pendry's visit was not entirely welcome. While officers are talking inside the tent, word gets round that they are on site and an angry crowd gathers.
They shouldn't be in here.
Tell me. Why have you blocked that door? Why have you blocked that door? Police in there. Off with the police. Because the amount of times I've been beaten by them. Invalidate the system. The system must change. It's corrupt. It's whole corrupt. And you're conspiring with me.
You tell me which way to go. I'll go that way. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, we're restoring. Changes the issue. Not
Justice for Ian Tomlinson! You're murderers! You're murderers!
We remember you at Gaza!
We never forgive! We never forget!
Stop! Get out of here! Don't come back! Stop!
Despite this hostility, the police stuck with their low-key response and the rest of the week passed off smoothly. Is this softly approach the future?
If we're now going to think that everything we do is always going to be safe and able-style policing, that would be ridiculous in the public order world. I think what we have to do is just make sure we have a plan ranging from a soft policing response, as we've had here, right the way through to, if necessary, full all tactical options and public order options. But I do think if it's going to be this style of peaceful, lawful protest, then there's no reason why we can't police it in this manner.
We're just 3 years away from the Olympic Games. The image of one scowling, gratuitously violent officer clubbing someone to the ground will be relayed around the world in seconds. And YouTube will have it within the first 2 or 3 minutes. It will do untold harm to this country.
Take care, bye-bye, bye-bye.
Large-scale protests will come again. The question for the police now is how far will they go in response to the pressure for change?
I hope that it is an opportunity, as President Obama's Chief of Staff said, never waste a good crime.
That's it.
You can read a feature by Roger Graff exploring the issues further on the website at channel4.com/dispatches.